Hello, guys, and welcome to week 2 edition of What in the World is Happening with with these teams and my weekly reactions. Enjoy. And just for your information, if my cursor's hovering around, the team logo, then that's who I'm talking to. Now on with the video. Good Lord, man. All this stuff that McDermott made us eat in the offseason, it's got us thinking all the same. Goodness gracious, we are on the same page. We're almost all as strong as Josh Allen on this team, just running over our opponents. Oh my gosh. He's not getting up. Oh my goodness. Please, no. Why is it always a year with even numbers? Goodness gracious. Please. Wow, we the Raiders. No one's taken us seriously this year, but we've been in every game that we've played. Max Crosby is literal proof that if you have a guy who's mean enough and hardcore enough with enough tattoos, that's going to scare everyone on the team and convince them to play. Looks like Davante Adams still got it. We're the Ravens. Goodness, the last time that a MVP or a team with an MVP lost their first 2 games was 2002. Some of the players on this team weren't even born back then. What are we doing? What are we doing? Holy smokes. We're Carolina. We haven't scored over 14 points. We're averaging 6.5 points a game. How in the world are we gonna win these games? Oh yeah, we're the Chargers. We haven't started 2-0 in quite a while. But, I mean, it still counts, right? Even if the Saints put up 47 or whatever it was the week before, yeah, it's still a dominant win if we only put up 26 against Carolina. We're the Saints. Who dat? Boy, oh boy. It would be a pity if someone came in and stole a game against Jerry Jones at his own stadium. It's not like any team has ever done that before. Oh, wait, they have. Man, week 1's over. We beat some team with beat up tackles. We again go against a team with healthy tackles. We ain't shit. Revenge never felt so good, eh, Detroit? What are you doing over there? Boy, your prolific offense and and Jameson Williams on his journey didn't do much, did he? Goodness gracious, Baker, you're looking like the best quarterback in football. Baker for MVP? Maybe. Detroit, oh man, we're going to let these guys come in and now be 1-1 in our own stadium, including last year. Goodness gracious. Maybe Goff should have the mentality at the beginning of the game that he has at the end of the game when he throws picks. Goodness gracious. And then this team would be deadly. Truly deadly with no errors. Oh my goodness, Jordan Love's not starting, you guys. They're just going to run the football all day on us. They're going to try to get Josh Jacobs going. We're only going to play run D once the game, isn't over, but it's going to be an uphill battle at the end of the game when Anthony Richardson's going to be forced to try and make passes. Goodness gracious, we're only going to defend the run after our star defensive player, DeForest Buckner, goes out with an ankle injury. that gets him put on IR for 4 weeks. Why in the heck is this defense performing without its best player, its workhorse, its difference maker? We're Green Bay. Our center vomits on the football. Josh Jacobs, we want you to eat. We haven't had a workhorse back since Eddie Lacy. And we're going to pass it a few times and enough times to make Malik Willis look like he wasn't just some glorified handoff machine on some throws that could have easily been picked. We're going to give him a near perfect passer rating. Or wait, was it perfect? Oh, why didn't you pass it on this down, LaFlores? He's like, oh, Myers puked on the football? Perhaps the 84-degree temperature was getting to him. Maybe such a physical game isn't meant for the weaker peasants of today's football. Oh man, you guys don't know what true smash mouth football is. Goodness gracious, but you made me proud. We're Cleveland, and we're up against the Jaguars, the second half choke artists of the league. Yeah, we give up a safety when it is not to our benefit, and we're down 3 points at that time. We are Jacksonville. We scored more in the second half. Hey, why didn't we win? Because this time we were going to do a reversal of fortunes. We were going to not do anything in the first half, except for average 1.5 points a quarter. We're the Browns. We are a team to still not trifle with. Our defense is mean. Was that real? Or was that a nightmare? We just gave up a 97-yard touchdown to this guy they call Jettas. Jettas jetted right past us. Oh no, not really. He had one of his wide receivers run the length of the field on the opposite side with him to essentially secure that touchdown, even though it looks like he still had enough space to fool not one, but two of our guys. Oh, I really wish Afonga was playing. He probably wouldn't have blown that coverage and maybe at least would have played hard enough to make a tackle. What are we doing? We're losing to Sam Darnold. We had this guy last year. We should know what's coming from him. I thought our pass rush would be good enough so that if they threw it, they ain't getting a pass off. That could be 2, if not even, maybe even 6 going the other way with a strip sack. I thought we were supposed to be a dominant pass rush. What is happening to us now that everyone thinks we're nothing without McCaffrey? We have a target on our back. Goodness gracious. Hey, yo, I'm Sam Darnold. I'm finally on a team that has a decent O-line, good weapons. And even though Addison didn't play this game, they still couldn't stop Jefferson. Yeah, I'll take a free discount 100 yards from my own 3 and shotgun. Goodness gracious. Thank you, Jettas. You make me proud. We're the Seahawks. We're going to essentially beat a team that was potentially one of the worst in the league, but is competing with a new rookie head coach. And the only reason we win this game is because DK gets a free beeline to the end zone. Yeah, we're not going to guard DK. He's only 6'3", 230 pounds, and can chase down defenders off of picks and body slam them, if that happens. But hey, yeah, we'll just let him free run past us. Never again. We're the Jets. When we watched tape last week, we noticed that the Titans lost the game 24-17. What a game it would be if we won on a game-winning drive, and we won 24-17. Yeah, who cares that we lost against the Niners? They just lost to the Vikings. Who even knows who's legit in this league anymore? Super Bowl favorites? Goodness gracious, man. Like, who's the favorite right now? The Vikings? Because they've commanded each game they've played. We're the Titans. We can only score 17. Boy, do we wish we had more weapons to be able to produce and give us more touchdowns, that is. We're the Giants. We just got mollywopped by the Vikings, weren't very competitive, and we're going up against our division rivals in our first look at Jaden Daniels. It looks like he's going to own you guys for years. Despite not having a touchdown throw, they still managed to get a win. Austin Eckler running over guys, scoring TDs, and being relentless against his new division rival. We're the Commanders. Who the hell knows who's legit in our division? Yeah, a bunch of teams are 1-1, and then we've got the Giants at 0-2. A three-way tie for first place after 2 weeks. Who could have dreamt that way when, the Dallas was favored to, take this division? We're the Rams. Even though we played scrappy last week, we used up all our juice. Oh my goodness, Cooper Kupp is injured again? Who do we have to throw to? Oh, a guy named Johnson? Well, at least we can say we have the biggest Johnson on the field. We're the Cardinals. Oh, it isn't my job to throw it to Harrison. I'm not going to throw it to this guy. I'm just going to use this as a smoke screen. And then bang, bang. This guy's got 2 touchdowns after having 1 reception week 1. He is our secret weapon. No longer. We're Pittsburgh. We don't score touchdowns through the air. And our kicker is a baller. And we're not going to let Bo Nix off the hook. We don't care that it's at Mile High. We're not going to look gassed at all. We're going to put on some stiff defense and even do a guy float underneath one of his wide receivers for his potential first touchdown. It ain't going to be that easy in the league, Bo Nix. You thinking you have a free touchdown? Well, you nixed yourself. We're Denver. We can't score. Besides Cortland Sutton, we have a bunch of boony wide receivers that no one's ever heard of. Maybe we should have kept Judy because maybe he wouldn't be as unhappy since he doesn't have Russell Wilson on his team. Goodness gracious, Cincinnati. I never would have guessed that you would have put a close game in here. I actually believed you had it. You had the Chiefs. And then this rookie comes in and screws your mojo? Teach him the Bengal way. You know it's never a good sign if your head coach doesn't even look super mad after, you lose the game winner, because he honestly at this point is thinking just figures we get some penalty that is completely justified. There's no way that you can say it isn't. And it's not, and I mean, he was definitely there early. Anybody else who tells you otherwise is either a Bengals fan or they need their eyes checked. Goodness gracious. So Patrick Mahomes is human. Throws 2 picks. Don't get me wrong, that one by Cam Taylor-Britt was like an OBJ replica on the defensive side. Bang, Bane hugging it on his torso. That's what you call a Bane play. All in one motion. But yeah, we're the Chiefs. You've got to play us until literally the last second ticks from the clock. Because we're never going to let you off easy. And crazy enough, Romo knew the script. Calling up on the last play that, hey, he's going to drop back. He's going to drop back. He's going to wind up the middle and scramble to his left. Of course, his left, because, yeah, it wouldn't be as impressive if he's going to his right. To his right. And then he throws it, and boy, does the rookie learn the toughest lesson of a defensive player is that no penalties in crunch time. Welcome to the league. Holy Lord. I'm never going to listen to Collinsworth again when he's like, oh, we got two great QBs here. And then when I heard that, oh, apparently Caleb Williams says that's not what he wants to do in terms of like running and showing off his ability. It's like, why were you the number 1 overall pick? It wasn't because you had the most incredible arm talent or the most accurate passing like Bo Nix. Bo Nix was the most accurate passer. It's because you could create outside the pocket and zip it downfield. Oh, you're under pressure? Yeah, we took 7 sacks. Oh, I'm just going to loft it up, to my wide receiver and say a prayer, but not even get it to the boundary, really, which is like, oh, that, if it's not to the sideline, that is the DB's play on it. 9 out of 10 times. Why in the world would you not try and run it more? When you've got a guy like Swift, when you've got options and you can run option plays, I just don't get it. Your defense played out of their mind, gave you every chance. But apparently the loss of Keenan Allen, and oh, hey, this is where they really need Keenan Allen, says Collinsworth. For what it's worth, Collinsworth, that wasn't a worthwhile statement to say, because you're discrediting not only DJ Moore, but Odunze, who apparently were really, really good enough for people to say, oh, this is the best wide receiver core in the league. But yeah, I guess apparently if they have one guy injured, they become non-existent. And it's not like DJ Moore can't create separation and do yards after catch or anything like that. No siree. Like we're just not going to acknowledge that they have 2 other what should be capable wide receivers from the media's perspective. We're the Texans. Boy, are we going to get feisty with the Bears for whatever reason. I don't know why. It seemed like there was no reason behind it. And then we're going to let them eke back into the game when Akers has a fumble at the 1-yard line because Mixon is out. I'm not saying that CJ Stroud isn't great, but they really need to be able to stop their stuttering on offense and score a bit more, especially when they get turnovers. Oh boy, both birds looking like they're having trouble taking off. Kirk Cousins, not looking very accurate. Lucky his guys have good hands. I mean, the 2 that I remember that I was like, oh, this shouldn't be so hard to get to him, is Drake London, a big wide receiver going across the middle of the field. Open. Not even tight coverage. Open. And oh, you're putting it down beneath his hip. I can only imagine what that's like, that he has to slide down and he can't even create after he catches it. Like, what are you trying to limit what his contract's going to be? Because you're not going to give him the yards after catch opportunities where he can, show his true potential and his complete package. Like, why, Kirk? And then even with Bijan Robinson, why in the world are you throwing it like down by his thighs? Like, you know as well as anybody, oh, hit him in stride and a guy like that is gone. He should be your most prolific weapon. Right now, these fantasy people are wondering why the heck Bijan isn't torching it up better. It's because he's got a quarterback that won't throw it too high. Oh, you admit you weren't that sharp after the game? Well, what the heck do you have to do to change it if you can't hit wide open guys? Kudos to you, Falcons defense. You deserved this game. But you're probably the only ones who deserved it. Besides Bijan on the offensive side and maybe Drake London. Hey, we're the Eagles. We apparently won some great victory after being super hyped up against the Packers in Brazil. We had additional rest, unlike, the majority of, we had the same amount of rest, as the Packers, and more rest than 28 other teams. But yeah, we're going to come in. We're going to look sloppy. We don't have a plan. We knew that A.J. Brown's going to be out, but we don't have a plan. We don't know what we're going to do. We're going to try and run it with Saquon, and he's going to do pretty good. But he's eventually going to not be, gaining yards at the end of the game. Oh, we took the lead by 2. Yeah, Vic Fangio, let's just dial up a prevent defense. Even though Koo can kick it from a ways. And these new teams get it on the 30. Yeah, let's give up a 20-yard pass on the first pass of their drive with less than a minute to the sideline, no less. And then they're all relaxed and they don't have to worry about, we don't have to gain chunks and chunks and chunks upon chunks. We'll even commit a penalty before we kick the field goal. And then lo and behold, we lose. How in the world do you expect to win a game when you quit at the very end? You're going to go back down the same road of last year. Except instead of it being the offense, it's the defense? The defense led by the dude that, we're so glad he's back. He was on the team when we had our Super Bowl run. You're not going to be winning a lot of playoff games up by 2 in close games when you're playing soft defense that doesn't even match the profile of your defense. A bunch of physical maulers, man corners, up the wazoo. Why in the world even put them on the field? You might as well have blitzed 8 and put 3 back deep. Then at least you might have some shot at swatting the ball on or sacking the quarterback. I don't have anything else to say.